Hello and welcome to Author Talk with me, LG Thompson. The concept behind Author Talk is that on Tuesdays I'll be answering the kind of questions that authors very often get asked by readers, and on Fridays I'll be sharing some of my favourite books. Today I'm going to be talking about a memoir, and it's called Fishtown by an author called John G Fagan. But before we start on that, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Fishtown is published by Guts Publishing, which is run by Julianne Ingalls, an American woman. I think she's based in London and she's putting out some really interesting stuff, so go and check out the Guts Publishing catalogue. The book I'm talking about today is Fishtown by John G Fagan. John grew up in Muirhead, a small village lying between Cumbernauld and Glasgow, and he actually went to school in Cumbernauld, which is where I grew up. Our paths didn't cross then because I'm a good bit older than John, but since I first read Fishtown, we've connected on social media, and hopefully our paths will cross in real life at some point in the future. What can I say about Fishtown? It's a memoir and it blew me away. Now, yeah, it blew me away. I'm probably saying that quite a lot on these book lists, and that's because I made a decision when I started doing Author Talk that I would only talk about books that really interest me, that really grab me, that I love, or that excite me in some kind of way. I'm not interested in coming on something like this and slating other people's work. I know what goes into writing books. I know what the creative process is like. And I just don't want to give anybody a hard time in that kind of way. I mean, in real life, when I am reading a book, if it doesn't interest me, I just toss it away. I don't stick with books that I don't like or that I'm not enjoying. I used to when I was a kid, especially when I was a teenager and into my 20s. It was like if I started a book, I had to stick with it all the way through to the end. I don't know why I punished myself like that. Now, because I'm a good bit older, I'm much nearer the other end of the mortal coil. I just don't have that much time left, and I don't have the patience either. I really do not have the patience. So I'm looking for stuff that really grabs me. It doesn't have to be explosions on the first page. That's not what I'm talking about, but I'm just talking about something that holds my interest, a book that's got something to say. And Fishtown has got a lot to say. I'm just looking down at it there. John was a bit lost in his life, and he decided to leave Scotland to go and teach in Japan, and he lived in Japan for 7 years, and Fishtown tells the story of that experience. Now, he actually started writing the book on his way back from Japan while he was still sitting in the airport in Japan. He started writing it on his phone, and he wrote the whole thing on his phone. It's really, I don't know if you can this is from the very first page. You can see it's almost like a stream of consciousness thing. In the very first chapter has the only bit of punctuation in it is a full stop at the end of it. I would say that I'm not a great fan in general of stream of consciousness. It can seem a little bit self-indulgent. Punctuation helps. I don't really like any barriers between the reader and the content. But this book is completely and utterly accessible. When I started reading it, I couldn't put it down. It flows. The language seems very simplistic. It's not simplistic. It's one of those things that looks simple, but it isn't. He's pulled off something here that's actually quite magnificent. It just flows. And in these, it's almost like a sort of free verse thing, and he just builds up these images, and he captures emotions and just a few words, and I love that. In one of these other book list videos, I talk about my dislike of Christmas cake writing, where you've got everything thrown in there, all the rich fruit and the marzipan and the icing, and it's all just too much and it makes me feel sick. This writing is stripped back and it is just an absolute joy. I got in touch with John when I started Author Talk and asked him if he would mind if I read the first chapter of Fishtown, and because he's a great guy, he just said yes, please, go ahead. Fishtown by John G Fagan. Only the truly lost wash up in the shore of Yazoo. A fish town in a forgotten part of Japan, faded posters of its 1960s glory days still littering the streets. But that's where I was, April 2013. I took a walk to the sea, hoping for a beach to spend some time after work. But all that was there was a blackwater port and a tsunami wall that snaked around it. The Pacific, waiting to devour my flat, was behind the destruction line when the town was flooded. I'd be safe, so said the extra £100 a month I was told to pay. Safe and lost, 29 years old, alone, listening to the hum of an air conditioner to drown the silence. I thought I wouldn't last a month. It was over 6 years before I made the long journey back home.
Yes!
Whoa. A fabulous introduction. And the whole thing just flows like that, where you just get lots of information but delivered in a really spare way. And all the bits build up one on top of the other. And it's just an absolutely fantastic book. Also, it's short. I'm just looking, it says time left in book. At the bottom of my Kindle says 1 hour 36 minutes. I love brevity. Brevity is really, really, really undervalued. That's another thing about being at this end of the mortal coil. If I see a book that's like yea thick, I'm like, I don't know if I'll live long enough to finish that. So yeah, short books and spare writing. I mean, it's not a rule, not everything I read is like that, but you know, that's where the appeal is. And I suppose it goes back to all the hard-boiled stuff, the James M. Cain, the Jim Thompson, all that kind of lean, mean stuff that I really enjoy. But this is Fish Town by John G Fagan. It's a memoir. It's a fabulous read. It's got an authentic voice. It's beautifully written. And it's published by Guts Publishing. That's my recommendation for this week. So don't forget to like the film and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you next time on Author Talk. An hour and a half, I might just read this again.